$284,000. That is the hidden number in the retirement fight. Retire at 62, and you get 156 months before a 75-year-old worker clocks out. Using our modeled $1,821 monthly check, that is $284,076 before the late retiree even reaches the finish line. Here is the fact: 62 wins the life decision. 75 wins the survival spreadsheet. Boomers were sold retirement as a finish line. Gen Z is being sold retirement as an endurance event. Episode 002 asks one blunt question: who is retirement actually for?
So this is not just about Social Security. This is about whether leaving at 62 is freedom, or whether working until 75 has become the new adult math.
Correct. This is verdict number 2. Boomers win the dream, because they got to imagine retirement as time. Gen Z wins the spreadsheet, because they are forced to treat retirement as cash flow. 3 reasons. First, early retirement creates 13 extra years of life, but often a smaller monthly check. Second, assets decide whether those years are freedom or poverty. Third, the labor market has quietly turned old age into a second shift.
Boomer Rep, defend 62. Why should anyone still think retiring early is rational when the math punishes early claiming?
Because retirement was never only about maximizing the check. It was about getting your life back while your body still worked. A lot of boomers saw parents die right after retirement. We learned the ugly lesson. Waiting too long can turn the dream into a hospital appointment. If I retire at 62, I get 13 years before 75. That is 156 months of mornings I control. The check may be smaller, but the calendar is bigger. And many of us had a house close to paid off, some pension income, and Social Security as a floor. Generation A paid with 40 years of payroll taxes. We did not steal retirement. We expected the promise to be real.
The problem is that the promise is not priced the same anymore. For anyone born in 1960 or later, full retirement age is 67. Claim at 62, and the benefit can be cut to 70% of the full amount. That reduction is permanent. If your full benefit is $2,000, age 62 gives you about $1,400. Waiting until 70 gives you about $2,480. The numbers don't lie. Gen Z looks at 62 and sees a luxury product. Rent is not paid off. Student debt is not sentimental. Health insurance before Medicare is a cliff. For us, 75 is not ambition. It is what happens when the spreadsheet keeps rejecting 62.
Boomer Rep, Gen Z is saying your early retirement worked because the asset base was already built. Paid off house, pension, cheaper life. Is that unfair?
It is incomplete. A paid-off house did not appear by magic. People bought smaller homes, stayed at jobs they hated, drove cars longer, and treated debt like a disease. The pension was not a gift. It was compensation. We traded flexibility for security. The younger side wants to call that luck, but discipline mattered. At 62, a boomer with a modest pension, Social Security, and no mortgage could live carefully and still be retired. Not rich, retired. That difference matters. A bigger check at 75 is useless if your knees, back, or spouse are gone by then.
Discipline matters, but prices changed. Gen Z can be disciplined and still lose. The median retirement account for households near retirement is not a magic million. It is closer to $185,000 among those with accounts. At a 4% withdrawal rate, that is $7,400 a year. That does not buy freedom in a high-rent city. It buys groceries, insurance deductibles, and maybe car repairs. Boomers say, I lived modestly. Gen Z says, modest now has a subscription fee. We are not choosing 75 because work is beautiful. We are choosing 75 because the retirement math punishes anyone without assets.
Both sides have a point, but one fact flips the argument. Social Security stops rewarding delay at age 70. After 70, there is no extra delayed retirement credit. So retirement at 75 is not 5 more years of Social Security bonus. It is 5 more years of wages, 5 fewer years of spending down savings, and 5 more years hoping your body cooperates. That is not a retirement strategy. That is damage control wearing a necktie.
So the real comparison is not just 62 versus 75. It is time versus security, and the winner changes depending on who owns assets.
Reason 1, the check. A worker claiming at 62 can take money sooner, but the monthly benefit is smaller for life. A worker claiming at 70 gets the biggest Social Security check. In our clean model, $2,000 at full retirement age becomes $1,400 at 62 and $2,480 at 70. That is an $1,080 monthly spread. But the early retiree has the first 96 months of checks before age 70. The late claimant needs years to catch up. Here is the brutal part: early retirement wins the calendar, delayed claiming wins the monthly bill.
And the calendar matters. People talk like retirement is a bank account, but it is also a health account. The first 10 years after 62 are not the same as the first 10 years after 75. At 62, you can travel, help grandchildren, volunteer, fish, walk, build, learn, and still have energy. By 75, many people are negotiating with medicine bottles. A spreadsheet that ignores health is not wisdom. It is denial with columns.
But a retirement plan that ignores rent is fantasy. Gen Z is not rejecting free time. We are rejecting fake math. If you retire at 62 with no house, no pension, and a reduced check, freedom becomes panic. You get time, but every bill becomes a threat. That is why young workers here retire early and think, with what? Equity? Pension? Inheritance? A $1,400 monthly check does not create dignity when rent alone can eat it alive.
Reason 2, the asset wall. Retiring at 62 works when the big expenses are already defeated. Mortgage gone. Kids launched. Debt low. Healthcare bridge funded until Medicare. Without that, 62 is not a retirement age. It is a financial trapdoor. Boomers had more access to pensions and home appreciation. Gen Z has more access to apps, gig work, and anxiety. Generation A paid a mortgage. Generation B pays rent, student loans, and inflation-adjusted disappointment.
Reason 3 has to be work itself. Are older Americans really working longer because they want to, or because retirement stopped being affordable?
Some choose it. Do not erase that. Work gives structure. Work gives identity. Work gives purpose after the kids are gone. Plenty of older people keep working because they like being useful. But I will be honest. That is not the same as needing the paycheck. Choice feels different from pressure. A 68-year-old consultant working 3 days a week is not the same as a 72-year-old cashier standing because rent went up.
Exactly. Choice is the missing word. Gen Z sees older workers and does not see inspiration first. We see the warning label. If 1 in 5 people over 65 is still in the labor force, retirement is no longer automatic. It is purchased. And the price is rising. We are being told to work longer, save more, invest earlier, pay higher rent, handle weaker benefits, and still smile when someone says we lack discipline. The numbers don't lie. The finish line moved.
Now the reveal. There is a third faction, the 70 splitters. They do not worship 62, and they do not romanticize 75. They leave full-time work around 67 to 70, delay Social Security to the strongest check, cut hours, and protect health. That group beats both extremes. But the final verdict is clear. Retirement at 62 is the superior life decision, because 13 healthy years are worth more than a prettier spreadsheet. But only people with assets can safely take it. Boomers win the dream. Gen Z wins the accusation that the dream was repriced. Working to 75 is not a badge of honor. It is inflation wearing a name tag. This is verdict 002 of Generation Math. Which side are you on? Drop your generation.